Hi, and thank you for joining me for Learning Libby. Today we are just going to give an overview of what Libby is, what it does, all the cool features it has. My name is Alyssa and I work at the Ed Robeson Library. I'm a paraprofessional and let's get to it. So I have on my screen right now that you can see is the Libby app. So Libby was developed to replace the Overdrive app for those of you that are still using Overdrive. It hasn't quite converted over to replacing it yet, so you can still use Overdrive if you choose, but Libby does have a little bit better of a layout. So I personally recommend Libby over Overdrive. So Libby is this maroon turquoise app with like a girl reading a book that you see on your screen. So what we're going to do first is we're going to tap on it, and you will automatically get this welcome page once you download it. Libby is available for Apple and Android products. It is not yet available for Kindle products. So you'll see this welcome page when you first download the app, and it'll ask you if you have a library card. If you do not have a library card with us yet, you can get one by stopping in at one of our branches with a photo ID and proof of residency. That could be anything that's a bill or a lease agreement. It just has to have your name and your address on it. Or we do offer the option to get a library card digitally through our Book a Librarian service. That will be a video conference call that you have with one of our librarians, and we can get you set up with a library card that way as well. So for this program, I do have a library card ready to use, so I'm going to select yes. And then I'll take you to the screen where you get three different options. The options are a copy from my other device. So if you had Libby downloaded like on your phone and you're trying to get it over to your iPad, you can do a copy to my device. That's what that option is. The second option is typing in the zip code to find the library that you belong to. And then the third one will ask for your location to pinpoint where you are and tell you what your closest library is. I, for this program, am going to use the I'll search for a library, that second option, just because it's more accurate for what I'm looking for. So I'm going to type in the zip code here. I'm at the Ed Robeson Library, so I'm going to type in the zip code for that. So you'll see here that the first option it's giving me is the Greater Phoenix Digital Library. That should be the same for everybody. That's going to be the Libby account that we use for this. Below it's going to say Maricopa County Library District, and then it'll say Robeson Branch Library. It will say a different branch for you if you put in different zip codes. So like 85142 is going to say Queen Creek, 85234 is going to say Southeast Regional, so just be aware of that. But it should say Greater Phoenix Digital Library and the Maricopa County Library District. So I'm going to select that. And it's going to take me to the next page that asks if I want to use a library card, and I do have one here. So I'm going to choose a location. So these are all the locations that use the Greater Phoenix Digital Library. We are part of the Maricopa County Library District right here, so I'm going to select that. And then it's going to ask me for my card number. That library card number usually starts with a 1. It's located directly below the barcode on the back of your library card. You'll enter that in, all no spaces. Perfect. Now that I got that in, you'll see that it's asking for your PIN. Your PIN is automatically set up to the last 4 digits of the phone number you gave while signing up for your library account. If you changed it online, it is no longer that. But if you are wondering what your PIN is and you just got your library card, it's the last 4 digits of your phone number. So let me go ahead and type that in here. Perfect. So then I'll take you to the next screen. This is asking if I want to read with a Kindle. I did say previously that Libby is not compatible with Kindle products. However, The way that Kindle works is you would download it to a computer or another device and send it over to your Kindle, whether that be Paperwhite or Fire. So you can still do that through the Libby app. It is a couple more steps, so that's completely up to you. If you select yes, I read with Kindle, it will only show you books that are compatible with Kindle. For this demonstration, because I'm using an Apple product, I'm going to select skip. And then it's going to take me to the library where I can start browsing for books. So just to give you an introduction, this is our homepage for the Greater Phoenix Digital Library. You'll see at the very bottom, you'll see the word kids. So if you're looking for kid-friendly books, that is a great selection. And then below that, you'll see a magnifying glass that's going to serve as your search button. You can search by title, genre, author, whatever works best for you. Below that is going to be your library card looking icon. This is going to be the Greater Phoenix Digital Library where you can look for books by browsing. Libby, that often serves as your menu bar. This screen will pop up on the right-hand side. Your libraries, you can see your library cards. If you are part of Mesa Public Library or Tempe Public Library and you want to add those library cards on to get more borrows, this is where you would do that. A really great thing with Libby is that they have a really awesome help and support section here that you'll see at the bottom. So whether you're trying to read books with a different device or get some help with some technical questions, they're always here to help. So for the time being, I'm just going to hide that, and I do that by selecting the hide button in the top right-hand corner. And then next to that Libby icon is a bookshelf. This is going to be the items that you have checked out and items that you have on hold. So you can check out up to 10 items at a time. Ebooks are checked out for 2 weeks, and audiobooks are checked out for 3 weeks. They are renewable as long as nobody has a hold on them. The renewals will show up about 3 days before the due date. And if you have your notifications enabled for this app, it will let you know, hey, your time is running out on this book. Do you want to renew it? There is a return early option, which I will go over as well. And then hold, you can have 8 holds at a time. And then there is an option to postpone the loans and things like that. I will again show you how that works. So for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to look for a book that's available to check out. So I'm going to hit this library card option down here at the bottom. So that was the one next to the magnifying glass, and I'm just going to scroll down. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use our preferences right here in the middle of your screen, and there's a little plus button on the right-hand side. This is very handy because you can change the format. So if I click where it says any next to format, you'll see books, audiobooks, magazines. So I'm going to look for a book today. If you want to change the language, you can do that. If you want to change the audience, this is going to be so you can change it for juvenile, young adult, general content, or mature content. It also gives you the option to change what it supports. So whether you're looking at Libby or Kindle, PDFs for a computer, something like that. So if you wanted to change that, you could. Availability, I'm going to change this to available now. So everything is showing you what is available now and what is available to put on hold. For this demonstration, I'm obviously looking for something I can show you right now, so I'm going to use the available now option. And then I'm just going to apply these preferences. So now it's showing me things that are available for me to check out today that are books. So let's see what looks interesting. Let's see, on the librarian list, I see something called Revenge. So let's go ahead and look at that. So it's going to give you a synopsis of the book. It'll also give you the format, the author, a release date, and the audience as well. So just looking at that, it'll also give you some suggestions from the list as well. But for now, I'm just going to use that borrow button that you see underneath the cover art on your right-hand side. I'm just going to select borrow. And it's going to say, I already named this card Alyssa's work card. It'll tell me how many loans I have and how many holds I have. And it says that you are borrowing revenge for 14 days at the top. So I am going to confirm all this and select borrow. And then we'll see now that it is being borrowed and it's checked out now that it has the check mark. So you'll see here that it says notifications tell you when your loan is due. Would you like to set up your notifications now? So if I click manage notifications, it'll ask if I want push notifications. So what this is on your lock screen of your phone, it says, hey, this book's about to become due. Do you want to renew it? Or time's running out or something of that sort. So I do appreciate those notifications. I'm going to select allow. So I selected keep browsing, and what I'm going to do is use that bookshelf, which is in between the Libby icon and the timer. And I'm going to select the read with, and we're going to read with Libby. So reading with Libby keeps it within the app. So I'm just going to select over till we get to some wording. Perfect. So if you tap the middle of your screen, so I'm going to select in between the two pages, you'll see menus that are coming up. So at the very, very top, you see that you have your back button that will take you back to your shelf. On the right-hand side, you will see a circle with a page in the middle, it looks like. So if I select that, that changes it from one page to 2 pages. So whatever works best for you, you can choose. And then next to that, you have the capital A. If you select that, you can change the text. So you can make it bigger or smaller, whatever works best for you. And then if you go down, you can actually change the lighting in the background. So it automatically sets to bright, and then I'll select sepia. So you can see it has that yellowish orange tinge to the back, or dark. I particularly like using the dark feature for reading at night. It's very nice and a lot less harsh on my eyes. So that is what the A icon does. There is a search. I use this a lot, especially for my master's program where I have to look for a specific term in a book. You can look up a term, you can look up a character, and it'll tell you what pages that the phrase that you searched is in. And then last but not least, you have this icon next to the search, which is a bookmark. So if you place bookmarks anywhere, it will it will keep your place and you can go back to it later. So if you're looking for what you bookmarked or highlighted in the book, you can go back to that. So I am going to go back now using that back button, and that will take me back to my shelf. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to return that loan early. So let's say I finished it all on one day. I'm going to manage my loan, which is underneath where it says open in Libby. And it'll give you some options. So if I wanted to read it with Kindle, I can change that here. If I want to return it early, I can select that. And then underneath return early, you'll see renew loan. So that will become available for you 3 days prior to the actual due date. And I'm just going to minimize this really fast. You can see the due date here. Underneath where it says manage loan, it says it's due in 14 days. So I'm going to go back to clicking manage loan, and I'm going to return that book early. It'll ask me to confirm that I want to return it. I'll select return again. And now it's off to the next person who wants it. So that was ebooks, and now I'm just gonna go over audiobooks as well. There's a little bit different settings that are in audiobooks in comparison to ebooks. So I'm going to go to the library, and I'm going to scroll back up to my preferences. And for format, where it says books, I'm going to change that to audiobooks, and I'm going to apply those preferences. Perfect. So here I see that there is The Perfect Couple. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to borrow it similar to how you borrow an ebook. It's going to ask me to confirm. You can note here that it says you are borrowing The Perfect Couple for 21 days. Audiobooks are 3 weeks. Ebooks are 2 weeks. And for this case, I'm just going to open the audiobook so I can show you the different features it has here. So you'll see the play button chapter, similar to how you saw the ebook. Differences are primarily in the top right-hand corner. So you have the speedometer here. So if you select it, you can change the speed that the narrator is telling you or is reading the book for you. I often have it on 1.5 just because I like it to be sped up a little bit. But you can change it down if they're speaking too fast. You can change it down to 0.75. You can do up to 2 times the normal speaking speed. So that is a very handy feature for the audiobooks. Another thing that I do use is this moon shape icon here. So when I hold it down, you'll see that it gives me the end of the chapter, and I can stop it there at 11 minutes. Or let's say that I want it to read for 30 minutes as I'm trying to fall asleep at night, it'll automatically stop at that 25-30 minute mark. So it'll just play until the 25 minutes pass. Bookmarks, similar to your ebooks, and then the bookmark icon is next to it. And then you can make notes as well because this is an audiobook and not an ebook, so you can't exactly highlight things. So if you wanted to take notes, that is what that option is for. Returning is very similar to your ebook. And then also another thing I'd like to note is that audiobooks do give you approximately how many hours it is. You'll see that underneath the artwork. So I'm going to go to Manage Loan, and I'm going to return it early. And then I'm going to click Return. Perfect. So now I'm back to 0 loans and 0 holds. And I'm going to direct your attention down to the very bottom of the screen again, where we have the magnifying glass, the library card, and the bookshelf. If you look at that very last icon, it is a clock timer icon. What this is it will keep track of what you have read and have checked out. I use this icon a lot as things get returned and I totally forgot about it, but I meant to read it. I can go back and see what was returned on July 28th and check it out again or put it back on request. So it's a very handy feature. Everything is within the app. If you are familiar with Overdrive, you know that you had to go to the Greater Phoenix Digital Library and then have it downloaded into your bookshelf, which was back inside the app, and it got a little bit complicated. So what Libby does is it provides this in a seamless app, and it just has everything included, and it's really well done. Let me take a look here. So your search icon, I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to type in an author. Let's type in James Patterson because there's always a lot on James Patterson. So you'll see that it starts giving you suggestions, so I'm going to select that first one here. And my preferences are still set to show what's audiobook and what's available now. You can always change that. But it'll give me all the James Pattersons that are available right now in an audiobook format. So that is the search feature of that. Again, next to the search feature, you have your library card that will take you to the Greater Phoenix Digital Library, where you can browse for your items if you're just looking for something to check out. The Libby icon here at the bottom is your menu bar and your settings. The shelf will take you back to your shelves, what you have checked out, and any holds. You can select the gray bars at the top for loans, and then go back to your shelf, and then holds, and it will tell you what you have on hold. And it also tells you approximately how many weeks it takes. So in fact, let's go back to our Greater Phoenix Digital Library. I'm going to change the preferences to everything underneath availability, and I'm going to apply those preferences. So when I'm putting something on hold, let's see. So I'm looking at the Lost Girls of Paris right now. So if I were to select that, nope, that one is available now. Let's see. What is something that is super popular? Let's go to search and let's type in Kristen Hanna. I know that her stuff has been widely popular. So Kristen Hanna and the Four Winds just came out this year. It's been fairly popular. You'll see that it says place a hold. So next to, to the right of and above place a hold, you'll see a little library card icon with a little timer. So if I tap on that, it tells me that it's going to take about 8 weeks to get the Four Winds. It also lets me know that there are 61 copies in use, which is a fair amount of copies, and 159 people waiting. So doing the math there, it does tell me that 3 people are waiting per copy. So when I place it on hold, it'll reiterate that to me underneath where it says place a hold. If you place this on hold, here's what you're looking at. So I'm just going to place it on hold. And typically it does allow me to place it on hold, but for now it's just not. Let me see if that works. Okay, so I put Nightingale on hold to get you that screen. So if I go to my shelf and I look at my holds, so this is the screen for my holds, it'll tell me when I placed it. So I placed the hold today. You can play a sample, and it says this one is about 15 weeks, so it's even longer. If I click manage my hold, you can suspend your hold. So if you're going on vacation and you do not want the book to come in while you're on vacation, you can suspend it. So you can suspend it for 7 days, up to 180 days if you wanted to. This also comes in handy. You'll see a similar icon if something comes up and you just do not have time to read it, but in a week you think that you'll have time to read it. You can postpone your hold for 7 days, and then it'll let you know that when it's ready again. It won't be exact. It'll be 7 days or after, just depending on when the copy comes back into circulation. This also gives you the option to cancel your hold as well. But basically, that is the bare bones basics of how you use Libby. It is very handy. If you are using Overdrive, I highly recommend you start switching over to Libby. It is just so much easier to use. If you have questions, you can always call us at 602-652-3000. But I hope you found this program to be educational, and I hope you guys all start using Libby soon. Thanks for coming.